Yeah, so every week, we have a group of people that do a lot of work behind the scenes. We call them our sleuths. They do research on our guests and help write our questions. They are beautiful, intrepid, gorgeous, so smart, and we love them dearly.
Yay.
Um, so yeah,
If
guess
you
we're ready to start.
if you like, hey Kurt, if you like a question, do not thank me. Thank the sleuths. Um, okay, Kayla, I'm not gonna lie. It sounds weird when like you're the sleuth who's the most consistent. And you're like, they are beautiful, intrepid, gorgeous, and I'm like, okay, okay, Kenny.
Hey, I am just stealing the words straight from y'all's mouths.
We do need. I think we need an emote for sleuths. I think we just need like maybe the word sleuth, maybe sleuths.
Oh my god, yes.
Thank the sleuths.
Maybe a magnifying glass.
Ooh, make that happen. Let's go.
Just saying.
So, and a pickle emote. Well, we'll see. We'll see how pickle night ends up going. If pickle night is a hit, I'm down for it. Kurt, do you want to start your actual interview?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Your video's coming in. Your video's coming in a little. Oh, please drink a drink with you. Your video's coming in a little crispy, but your audio still sounds fine.
Okay, yeah, I'm seeing it on the stream there. I'm not sure why it's getting all crispy. I'll just minimize that for now and see if that helps.
Might could.
Everything is letters.
Hey, Dandy! It's a dry campus. Tell that to Little 5 Week.
Yeah.
Here and lurking. Thanks, Dandy. All right, Kurt, let's get started with the actual interview. Now that the sleuths have been thanked and now that your camera's a little more stable, let's go for it.
All right.
First off, we like to sometimes start the interview off with a question that the guest is the best person to just answer this question for a general audience. And especially in the spirit of the quest we just did in the game. Kurt, musicking. It's a verb now. What is musicking and how have you experienced examples of music being a process?
Oh, what is musicking? I am definitely not the best the best person to answer that question. Like, there's a lot of...
No, we decided you were.
Oh, Carrie's here. Hi.
Oh, hey, everybody.
Yeah, I mean, musicking is just a nice, I don't know, for me, it's a wonderful word because, like, there needs to be a nice, easy verb for making music, like this kind of act of creation of actual, this actual doing of music and this focus on music that's not as a thing. So, like, I'm not sure I ever really use musicking really myself, except that in the way that's like how I think all the time. Just because I've read so much about musicking and crap like that.
It's not one of your active abilities, but it's like a passive ability on your skill tree.
Much.
Yeah.
It's just that ability, or just that idea, like, especially with Western art music and the long history of it in the academy and everywhere, and all these opinions on what art is and what music is. It's just this great and kind of radical, but kind of not shift to thinking of music, from thinking of music as this thing that exists in the world, to thinking about it as a process, as an act, as something that people actually do. And that does a lot of really cool things in regard to putting music in the here and now. And with the here and now, and focusing on the actual process of doing it and the people actually doing the thing, rather than whoever, like your composers or something like that.
Yeah.
that's kind of my story with musicking and kind of why I like it. Um, but what else was there to that?
Just an example of music in the here and now, music being a process.
Yeah.
But you did give us an example of what it's not, which is like composers.
Yeah, I mean it's usually it's a nice way of decentering some of those like dead white dudes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what is it? I mean it's I feel like it's just, if you're performing music, that's something. If you're listening to music, that can be musicking.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's all of these noun or like all of these verbs combined that people tend to associate with the word music. If you think about music as a verb, as something you do, then you can kind of shove all of those into one category.
Yeah.
And stretch that definition in really interesting ways.
I think that covers it. Great answer, Kurt.
Thanks.
Shifting gears a little bit from more like general ethnomusicology questions to something like a little bit more specific in area studies-y. So we were about to ask you a question about your Fulbright year, but hold on, rewind the clock. Explain to people what a Fulbright scholarship is, and then how that shaped or helped your research interests evolve.
Yeah, so Fulbright is a really nice program within, actually run by the U.S. government that's aimed at exchange, especially academic and cultural exchange. Between different countries. So exchanges between the U.S. and they've got it for most countries have at least one Fulbright going over there, and then Fulbrighters from those countries coming to the United States. So it's this idea of diplomacy through academic and cultural exchange that's been in place for quite a while, and one of the really nice things about it is, as a social scientist of any sort or someone in the humanities, it is really one of the nicest types of funding that you can find in terms of like it will actually pay for you to do your field work.
Hell yeah.
Which does not happen all the time with a lot of things, especially if you're going to somewhere like Thailand, like I did.
Hey, you went to Thailand.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I was able to get a Fulbright to go to Thailand. I went over there. There's several different types of Fulbright awards. The one I got was for dissertation research specifically. So essentially it funded my travel, my lodging, and gave me research expenses, things like that, so I could actually take about a year and conduct my dissertation research.
Oh yeah.
And so that was pretty wonderful thing to get. It definitely made it so I could focus on going in and actually spending my time researching rather than having to find some other form of employment while I was in Thailand, or going purely off of savings or taking on extra debt while I was doing that research. So yeah, that's essentially the Fulbright program and the Fulbright program for Thailand. Yeah. So what else can I answer there?
No, I think you got it, because you talked about how like you didn't have to like get into your savings or too much, and you didn't have to get a job while you were there, and you basically got to just like do research, do field work.
Yeah.
For how many months were you there? How many months?
I was there for just under a year. I think 10 months.
Wow.
And and so get that money, and then I was able to do. Fulbright also has a really great network like opportunities for presentations.
Mm-hmm.
So I was able to present at a Fulbrighters conference there and get to know some of the other Fulbrighters that were in Southeast Asia, which was really nice. And they've got a lot of alumni events, things like that. And then, yeah, just a few requirements for presentations that I had to make, and a few, definitely a lot of stuff on the front end for application process of why should we give you this grant, and what are you going to do with your scholarship, and how are you giving back to the people that you're working with, and those sorts of things. But yeah, it's been a wonderful grant. It let me get my work done. Now I'm working on writing my dissertation. COVID has not been great for that. That's for sure.
I can't imagine it would. So this next question, Carrie, you gonna make me sing this opening line?
I would never make you do anything.
Am I supposed to? Am I supposed to
prefer
sing
you to
this?
choose this out of your own free will.
Okay, I'll do it. One night in Chiang Mai and the world's your banjo. Hey, Kurt, legit question. How does music intersect with tourism in the ways that people communicate about places? And I don't know, if you want to talk about Thailand while you do it, let me know.
Yeah. No, that's great. That's a lot of my dissertation. And it intersects in a whole lot of ways, and one of them's just that music as a cultural form is one of the things that people always kind of go to for types of presentation, and it's also just something that's kind of ubiquitous. If you're going pretty much anywhere anymore, a restaurant, a restaurant, you'll find a show, just kind of going through your life. There's music going on somewhere. And so oftentimes, for tourist events, people always have to make decisions of like, oh, what music is going on here? And is this something that we're using for, our tourism purposes, or is this something that we're just putting on for another reason? And if it's another reason, what is that? As far as Thailand goes, you have so many different cultural shows and restaurants and things like that. Thailand, their biggest part of the economy is based on their tourism industry.
Mm-hmm.
So it is something that drives, a whole lot of people are there. It's driving a whole lot of their economic situation. They're trying to attract people from very different places. No one speaks Thai because it's a really weird language that it's not been fun to try to learn. And so you have all of this stuff going, but people are coming there, they're wanting to see things, they're wanting to experience things, and music's one of those things that you can experience. And so a lot of times you'll find different cultural shows that have music, or even if you're just dining at a restaurant where the focus isn't on music per se, there's going to be something playing in the background to make it feel less awkward. And often what that is either catering to ideas of what music should be going on at a Thai restaurant, or what foreign visitors want to hear, or something along those lines. So, it's tied up in a whole lot of ways, I guess is the big one. And yeah, so it's really tied in there.
And chat, I need you to know he is spelling that TIED. Don't take it any other way, please.
Yes, please.
Yes. Okay, so it struck me that you said like either like what foreign tourists want to hear, or what like Thai music, like quote unquote, should sound like, and that I think I just know by like knowing your research a little bit what some of that means. But like, do you wanna address either one of those? To just give
Yeah.
Chad a better understanding.
No, it's an interesting. Yeah, I definitely do. So
I'm gonna make you.
yeah, that's good. Um, yeah, and I guess I can go into the specifics. The type of music that I'm writing my dissertation about is it's called bunglang, and it's specifically northeastern Thai um, style of music, which that area of Thailand is more rural. That it's a predominantly rural area. It doesn't get much tourism because the north has these nice mountains. The south has all these really great beaches. The central area has Bangkok and a bunch of other historical sites. The northeast is basically rice fields and really good food.
Mm.
Um,
Mm.
so so this genre, the valence really, to me, it feels a lot like bluegrass in
Yeah.
the sense that it's this like super roots music, feels very country. And also historically, it was made at pretty much the exact same time as bluegrass started, that like 1950s, 1960s, as something that is a new genre that's specifically going back to its roots or
Yeah.
back to the roots of whatever country.
Yeah.
So Bonglang is just a super rootsy. It's a traditional throwback type of music, despite the fact that it is pretty new, and actually like the way it was formulated was to not only be representative of all things regional and country, but also be representative of all things regional and country that appeal to a mass audience, and you can throw into a tourism show
Mhm.
and not have to deal with like shows taking forever long, or a bunch of weird weird things that your tourists and your other people won't get into, or like won't really like. So it's this essentially like a snapshot of what culture is, that is
Mm.
made just very purposely condensed and presented in a way that is supposed to be understandable to anyone watching. So there's your cultural performances that you get, like if you read a lot of like Singer and stuff like that, this kind of a performance that's supposed to encapsulate culture. One of the things I talk about with Bonglang is so much of it is cultural performances of these cultural performances. So like this meta level
Mm.
cultural performance where your cultural performance as you normally think about it would be like, oh yeah, we're doing the Rocket Festival, or oh yeah, this is us harvesting red ant eggs. That's another piece that Bunglang bands do a lot.
Huh.
And so a Bunglang performance would have little snapshots of both of these, where they take these culturally significant things and just ram them next to each other, one song and then another song and then another song, kind of in the same way as if you went to a US concert and they started playing Jingle Bells and then Happy Birthday and then some jazz song and then
Baby Shark.
something else. I'm not sure if that makes any sense.
It does. It does.
Yeah, so it's that. It's just very semiotically dense, very purposeful representation of what culture is supposed to mean, and that's a lot of what I'm looking at, is how a lot of that is driven by tourism, especially, and by this desire to get people that do not understand what Thailand is to come out with some understanding of, who we are as a culture, what Thailand is, what some, significant things are. Yeah, so that's essentially that.
And can I take a digression like at the end of this too? And I know you like compared it to bluegrass as like a kind of like genre that emerged like mid-century that was like a deliberate throwback to its roots. But also there's also like a very strong bluegrass scene in Thailand, right? Like American bluegrass.
Yeah, there's a pretty strong there is definitely a bluegrass scene in Thailand. And then there's a lot of not specifically bluegrass. I mean, there is bluegrass, but there's this idea of country in Thailand. That's been especially to some extent the Northeast, but the North a lot as well. There's this idea of country that is what is it? Jane Ferguson wrote about it. There's an article called "Another Country is the Past," talking about how people in northern Thailand latch on to these like American Western ideals, your cowboy boots and those sorts of things, as rather than being tied to like the American West, just this general sense of pastness. And so you'll see a lot of links between like Wild West imagery and country music and bluegrass music and nostalgia and this kind of romanticization of the like old independent northern Thailand, the Lana Kingdom.
That's so that's so fascinating.
Yeah, there's a lot of there, I guess.
There is because I can totally be like, okay, yeah, like country like is the past and dirt on your boots and everything, but like that is so wrapped up in. I'm sorry, go for it, Carrie.
I have a follow up on that.
Go for it. Hey, hit me, sleuth Carrie.
So, like this NPR story that I listen to late one night that like bounces around my head all the time.
Oh my god, what a Carrie sentence!
And it doesn't involve Ira Glass, but
Act
it was
one.
this whole story about Act One, late night listening to NPR. As I was listening, there was this story about the reason that country music is so popular in sub-Saharan Africa is is because of the wail, that like country wail, the old-timey like absolute heart-wrenching wail that they do.
Oh yeah.
And that's like, it is treated as this universal sound of anguish that is understood across all cultures. And so every time there's another round of like country music, American country music has connected, I'm always like, is it the wail? Is that the thing that we're all not talking about? Is just like absolute anger, anguish, and pain, and then we put a cowboy hat on it?
I think there's something for that. I mean, a lot of I haven't really thought. A lot of the people that I'm doing something doing things with, I do love the anguish with the cowboy hat.
Yep.
Trying to think of that. I mean, there is a bit of that, and there's always that. I feel like there's this connection as well, just that that kind of really authentic emotion that you have in country. There's always that sadness there that I think is something that is often talked about as one of those features that's just in country music that makes it so good. And I feel like that's there in Thailand. It sounds like it's there in sub-Saharan Africa. I love it.
AFS 2023 will do a panel, Anguish with a Cowboy Hat.
Yes.
I should ask another question so chat doesn't dwell on Nightbot making it weird. But you mentioned AFS, Carrie, and Kurt works at SEM, kind of like AFS, but for people who say the word musicking. Hey, what is the Society for Ethnomusicology, and what do they do, Kurt?
Society of Ethnomusicology is it's actually the largest scholarly society for ethnomusicology that's around there, and so we we're around to advance the goals of ethnomusicologists and kind of provide a place for people to keep ethnomusicology being, if we want to keep with the weird music verbs. And so we run the journal Ethnomusicology, which is one of the big journals in the field. We put on our annual meeting every year, which usually gets right around 1,000 people. I think this coming one will be big because it's with
big.
It'll be with the American Musicological Society and the Society for Music Theory. So big joint meeting.
And in New Orleans. Yeah.
And people love New Orleans, myself included.
Oh, same. Big same.
Yeah. So it should be good. So we're doing that. But really, we exist as a scholarly membership society where people that are studying ethnomusicology, so studying, in any way you want to take that to mean. So the study of music in or as culture, if you want to use the really easy kind of Alan Merriam-y quote for it. Like anyone that's looking at musicking or people making music or music as something that people do, from a scholarly perspective, we exist to kind of help further those people's goals. So we are, so a lot of times that just means pointing people to resources and things like that. Our major things, however, are we run the journal and we put on the conference, which is one of the major scholarly meetings on the subject.
I know sometimes on this show, especially because we're like more primarily a folklore show, we talk a lot about Henry Glassey's mustache, but shouts out to Alan Merriam's mustache. Underrated mustache in academia as far as I'm concerned.
It's all right. It's no Glassey mustache.
Well, it's doing its thing. It's doing its thing. It knows its role. It knows its role on a face.
Yeah.
And Kurt, this is usually the part where we transition into some like fun questions, and this kind of straddles serious academic thought and fun questions. So I guess I'm just gonna ask it the way we wrote it. How does that sound, Carrie? Kurt, how are you forced to create digital habitus in order to run your fucking My Little Pony blog?
Forced to create digital habitus. Now, what are you meaning by forced to create a digital habitus here?
I guess I mean how, and I don't want to give away too much of your answer, but you can't really just shout into the void when you're doing ethnography on the internet and say, hey, come talk to us.
Yes. I mean,
and I think that's a general lesson for ethnography on the internet, but I will say again, fucking My Little Pony blog did such a good job, I think, of teaching me how to do it. You should tell the class, as it were.
Yeah, that's one of the things. So, first of all, once upon a time, Jason, Gwen, and I, both ethnomusicologists at IU, decided to do for a class project a study on the brony community online. So bunch of largely adult, largely male fans of the My Little Pony television show and all that comes with it. So that's a thing.
Mhm.
We did that. We started our project. We're really looking at kind of this idea of digital community and what that means.
Yeah.
Especially digital community in the sense of fandoms like this, because so much of what this community is based off of is not like a production thing. They're not like you can talk about a community of potters and it's like, oh yeah, these are people that make pots.
Yeah.
Or graphic designers, and these are people that design graphics and stuff like that. With fandoms like this, they are communities of people that are consuming something. They are communities of fans of this one show, which is very different than a lot of ways that people could conceptualize community. So with your kind of talk there, we started doing this research, talking to people. It went pretty well. But whenever we try to get people to respond to us in the typical ethnographic ways, especially if we were using social media,
Mm-hmm.
and we'd be like, how do y'all feel about this? Or, just posing a question like it's some interview and we can get responses for, we'd never get anything. And so one of the things that we realized pretty darn quickly with the internet, or at least for us, is that if we wanted to get any sort of response on the internet, we just had to throw something out there as a statement and have people react to that.
Fascinating.
Is that kind
yeah,
of what you're looking
exactly.
for?
Exactly what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so anytime we'd ask a question, it would be crickets. But if you come out on the internet with a hot take, people will write you paragraphs and paragraphs of why they absolutely agree or why they think your opinion is shit and you are so wrong. And it was just a game changer for us. And just one of the things, probably methodologically, one of the most important things I learned about internet research is just like how questions work on the internet, which is mostly that they don't.
Awesome.
And I just love that, like, you learned a legit question about how to get people to talk on the internet, but it was about, like, I don't know, the second Trixie episode or whatever you had a hot take about. Yeah.
Oh yeah, second Trixie episode. Anything like that. Like, it's always something pretty, just random episode highlights or something like that. You can get so much from just putting something out there.
Carrie copied and pasted your Photoshop. I don't know if we can share it in the chat, but if you find it, maybe on the blog here. But your Photoshop of Michel Foucault on top of, what was that character's name? Is it Discord?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it just says discourse. I'm hearing it in a French accent, so it's discourse, but
yeah, we did a fair bit of that.
Oh, you found it. Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Discourse. Yeah, I guess what impresses me so much about that is that it's like, it's very much just, you had your own version of, like, show it, like the anthropologist in like 1900 showing up to the village and being like, when did they start talking to me? Like, you had to learn that, you know what I mean? But it was like, post a hot take about ponies.
Yeah, it really was. And especially, even, that's kind of the most fun and interesting thing is, like, even with all the you go to these, you do complete courses on doing field work. You read all these people. I
Fucking
mean,
Charles Briggs.
yeah,
Charles Briggs, if you're watching, that was an F-bomb of emphasis.
yeah, fucking Charles Briggles has
That was a diminutive of emphasis.
yes, has an entire thing called learning how to ask.
Love that one.
Yeah, it's great. And then we tried to ask things and it just doesn't work. And that's, so much of everything. I mean, even, gosh, IRBs, stuff like that. It's all about what questions you ask. And then it's like, oh, I shouldn't be asking questions. The internet's fun.
What a wonderful arc you had based on thanks to Lauren Faust.
Yeah.
You really learned how to be a better ethnographer.
Yeah, and it was really, Lauren Faust and really Optimus Prime. Because the whole reason we got into the brony side of things is because Jason is a really big Transformers fan. Was was serving as webmaster for some group that did Hasbro related charity.
Oh my god!
Like a Hasbro related charity thing. And he ended up working with some of the bronies as well. And so we got into a class where we wanted to do internet research, and he's like, hey, let's do this. So it was fate. It was a really great arc. I kind of miss that research. It's not nearly as relevant now. I kind of regret nothing got published from it.
Oh, didn't you do an interview with the Library of Congress about it?
Yeah, actually, that one. It looks like the links in chat there.
Yeah, hell yeah! Thank you, Mod Carey.
Library of Congress. We did a podcast thing with BYU, I think.
Ooh.
Jason presented at BronyCon.
I didn't know that. Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't able to make that one. So yeah, we did several things, and then dissertation stuff and other pressures just kind of started weighing on us to a point that we weren't able to do the actual publish the article thing.
It do be like that.
Yeah, and then it was much less of a trend.
They always tell you publish or perish, and they never tell you how much you are like a sitter in the hand of an angry god in grad school, always almost perishing.
Yeah.
Oh, do you want to field a chat question right now before we go to funsies?
Oh, I really like the Bob's Burgers episode.
Yeah?
It's it's beautiful. I mean, it plays on, I don't know, it's a little, I feel like it was really well done for, it could have been so much worse, but I feel like a lot of the bronies that I had talked to and stuff like that, I feel like that was hell, hey, that's us, or oh, hey, this is funny. It's really easy, especially with bronies, to just punch down.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's one of the weird situations where you're talking about stigma with white heterosexual dudes.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And so it's really easy to just punch down and to do something that's insensitive. But I thought it was funny. And I think most people I know thought it was pretty darn funny too.
Another chat question from Jaded. Who's your favorite brony musician?
Oh, brony musician.
Very, very good, holistic Kurt question.
Yeah, that's a wonderful, wonderful Kurt question. I listen to a lot of that stuff. I feel like, I mean, it's not the best, not the deepest cut answer or anything like that, but Living Tombstone just kept putting out jam after jam after jam. And I'm trying to remember who did the other. Yeah, Living Tombstone's probably the one. There's also, what is it? Wooden Toaster got into some stuff that I thought was really nice and catchy.
Hell yeah.
But there's a lot of brony music. That's one of the things that we almost wrote on and then just kind of didn't.
Yeah, and Jay did follow it up by saying Living Tombstone and Alex S were in a league of their own, TBH. Aw, look at this.
Yeah, I agree. Like, and Living Tombstone kind of, definitely moved on past just like brony stuff and was doing all sorts of different fandom things.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all really, it's really solid. Just, it's like that EDM pop type stuff that's catchy as crap.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey, thank you, T Pappas, for that sub.
yeah. Oh, and talking about the brony mixtapes and stuff like that. No, the brony music scene itself was just crazy. Like, there was a website where that was just like a hub of the different brony radio stations out there, and there were something like, it was damn near 15-20 radio stations going 24 hours a day of just various brony music things. So, you'd have your 8-bit channels and your kind of poppier channels and your more dark and moody things.
I'd like to pitch a movie right now.
Yes, go off.
John Cusack in his like peak high fidelity music nerd era.
Oh my god.
As an online underground brony DJ.
Is it called Hoof Fidelity?
It's now. Oh, John Cusack's cutie mark. We need to know.
Oh my god.
Jack Black is also in it still because it's a high fidelity update.
Oh, of course.
But now he's the record exec who's trying to exploit the bronies. Also, this might be a Josie and the Pussycats mashup.
Oh, well, that's cool. That's a great movie. Kurt, did you see the Jenny Nicholson, the last BronyCon video essay?
I don't think so.
That's a really good. That's a really good one if you have like an hour and a half or 2 hours, however long it is. But because Jenny Nicholson is OG brony like fandom, an OG Pega sister. But she did it was kind of like a post-mortem to the brony community, and it's centered on like going to the last BronyCon as like a sort of like symbol, as like this is a fandom that gave me so much, and we're like kind of having like a funeral for it, Yeah. It was really good.
Oh.
Let's get into some fun questions. Kurt, what in the name of Marcus Tullius is a certified cicerone?
A certified cicerone is a wine nerd.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not one that. So cicerone is kind of the wine. Yeah, kind of your big wine certification. Actually, I guess master cicerone is the best thing you can be in terms of being able to taste and know and everything with wine.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, cicerone is that whole wine side of things.
That's dope.
Knowing essentially everything there is to know about it.
And I also know that you are a certified specialist of spirits. What does like the actual like certification process look like?
Yeah, the spirits one, there's really two, like, it's interesting with wine. There is wine, there's sommelier.
Mm-hmm.
What did you say cicerone earlier?
Yeah, I did.
Sorry, cicerone's beer.
Oh, it's
Sommelier
a beer nerd. Cool.
I'm an idiot.
No, it's just you had a long day. The Midwest is melting.
I almost did a turkey.
You almost had a turkey. You got caught behind a salt truck. There, Joel Chapman cut you off on his bike.
Yeah, it was Joel. I saw him. But yeah, it was yeah. So Cicerone is kind of your beer nerd person. Sommelier is kind of your major certification for wine.
Mm-hmm.
That's the big one that a lot of people know.
Yeah.
If you're a sommelier, that's got the name recognition. Cicerone's coming up there in terms of recognition. With spirits and cocktails and stuff like that, there's not really any one that's quite as recognized. So really there are two that go back and forth between, they're the ones to have. There's a W set, which has like 4 different levels and is not something I did, mostly because it was not COVID friendly. Because it involves some in-person events and tastings and stuff like that. And then there is the Certified Specialist of Spirits, which the certification itself is just a big old multiple choice test that's proctored online.
Okay.
But it's mostly spirits knowledge things where it just sends you, gives you just a book of random things about distilling, about different types of alcohols, about alcohol laws, things like that, and just gives you a crazy quiz on that.
It's fitting that you are a Cicerone because didn't you also once complete a IU sociology beer quals?
I did not do beer quals.
Oh, you didn't do beer quals. Oh
No,
man,
I never did beer quals.
it's not too late to get that invitation. You're still at IU sociology.
Yeah.
Hook this man up.
Yeah, I'm about beer quals. I'm not certified Cicerone. I did their level 1, which is just like certified beer server, I think.
Okay.
So I'm a certified beer wench.
I need to see you in a dirndl now. This is someone's already mentioned this in chat, and this is the question you've all been waiting for, people. Kurt, what's your favorite cocktail you ever invented for a final guts?
Cocktail for a final guts.
Which is part of channel lore. Kathleen talked a little bit about this on her episode.
Yeah, there's a lot of them in there that I really liked, but probably my favorite one was actually Sam Vermeulen's The Beard Climax.
Oh, talk about the beard climax! I don't remember what's in this, but it was delicious.
Yeah, that was
food. Are you in the chat? Food.
No, it was a riff. I mean, it was less an invention than a lot of them because I had something pretty similar when I was in staying in Australia doing some research and Thai language stuff. But it's basically a take on a cocktail called the Toronto. So this one was just primarily port as the base, a little bit of rye whiskey to give it a kick in the ass, some simple syrup, and some Fernet Branca.
Ah, Fernet.
So it's one of those like super boozy stirred drinks that is just everything I love in a drink. It's got bitter, it's got a little whiskey kick, it's got some sweetness. So yeah, that's if I had to go for it, that's probably the one. Close up there, actually for the same event, if I remember.
Final Clop?
Huh?
The Final Clop, right?
Final Clop.
Yeah.
Was actually I've got 2 that are pretty close up there. One for the same event was Brian's, the Impulso Raptor.
Oh, Impulso Raptor was so good.
Yeah, so Michelada with essentially with a shrub that we made out of tomatillos and all sorts of other stuff.
And didn't it have an IPA in it? Like a
Yeah,
splash
it
of
was
IPA?
because he was a torpedo,
Yes.
a torpedo drinker. So
Yeah,
it's
well, Brian McFillin loves a torpedo.
yeah, so it was IPA base with tomatillo shrub that we made, and it was pretty delicious. And then another one that I absolutely loved from a different guts. This was pumpkin spice guts, actually.
Oh, pumpkin spice
With
guts.
the,
You've still yet to name an actual final guts. You've just been naming like regular season events, but I'll allow it.
it doesn't matter. Those are my favorite cocktails.
We don't have the recipe saved for the regular season events, so this is actually good to get on a YouTube video. But go off. What was the one from pumpkin spice?
We had a pumpkin spice old fashioned.
Oh.
And that was the one that Cassidy and I worked our asses off to make.
Oh.
Like it took more crap than anything else, but it was just so much fun. As it was we went through and we roasted some pumpkin, and then we infused that into some Evan Williams.
Oh, that was so good.
And then I think we used like a brown sugar simple for it.
That sounds right.
And then just because I wanted to try it, I made some coffee bitters. With like coffee and chicory and all sorts of other fun.
the real chicory forward bitters. I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So those were probably a lot of my big ones there that I just loved. I feel like I was too drunk a lot of the final gutses to actually enjoy the cocktails too much.
You at Final Guts turned me on to my all-time favorite cocktail.
Which one's that?
Ramos Gin Fizz.
Oh yeah.
My absolute favorite cocktail.
Mm-hmm.
It's got like a kind of herbaceousness, not like an overpowering citrus, but an herbaceousness. It's got like cream to raise the pH balance, so you're not feeling too awkward in your tum tum. It's overly elaborate and super extra, so it's me. I love one of those.
Yeah. There's nothing more extra.
I feel bad making people make that for me. It's like I will make myself a Ramos Gin Fizz, but
hate you quicker.
Yeah, exactly. You don't just order that. Jaded says she's biased, but Witch Time will always have a spot in her heart. I mean, Witch Time is a.
That's.
I feel like Kathleen brought up the Witch Time on her episode.
The Witch Time was a classic. Like it was so good.
So Bad It Hurts says he loved people being super drunk at Guts because it raised the chances of him winning at least 40%. Okay, go enjoy your Coke and shrub cocktail, buddy.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, it was really good. I remember liking that one a lot. No guilt over a third shelf though. Well, a third shelf is just. I can't tell that. I'll tell the story of the third shelf if I haven't done that on stream. I'll tell that after break.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say it's a classic cocktail.
Yeah, I'll get into that. After break. Man, yeah. Jaded, I think, said we need the Guts cocktail book. We also need I feel like the Guts doc. We started filming that, and then people started moving. But I just feel like people might be in a better. What? I think we've like all like grown and evolved since Guts, that looking back on it like nowadays would be very special, especially like post Pandy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it would be a very nostalgia.
Oh, Wasteland Thylacine, I was about to ask your question because we have a food question next, but if you have to go. I will ask your question though. Sorry, go Kurt.
I was just agreeing. It would be a very, very good, very nostalgia-filled gut stock.
Yeah. We should make that happen. I'm thinking about how to make that happen. Here, Kurt. This is a memory from one of my favorite New Year's Eves. New Year Eves. Pitch me your ideal, like your dream dinner party.
Wait. Wait, you said you had a thing from your New Year's Eve or what?
No, I can remember a New Year's Eve of pitching dinner parties to each other. But what is I know you've thrown some great dinner parties from that one amazing taco night to the year of the pig, with the suckling pig. I mean, you were very instrumental in my Dirty 30 sausage party. But yes, you justice for Eunice. I mean, her feet were delicious. But
no justice.
no justice for Eunice. Her feet were delicious.
Yeah,
what's your like dream dinner party that you still have like yet to throw? What's your bucket list dinner party?
Something that I have yet to throw.
Yeah, that's what I want to ask.
Oh, I mean, I think the dream, just because I still haven't managed to quite get there, would just to be like just to have some giant charcuterie thing with stuff that I've been able to make.
Ooh.
Like
All stuff you've made.
Yeah. Like I would love to get some of that stuff down. I've done a couple little meat curing things. I've done bacon more or less successfully. It's not dry curing, but I do pastrami's. I did the one rum ham for guts.
Oh, your pastrami was real good. And yeah, the rum ham that was the guts with the famous fish tank full of mimosas, which has been brought up many times on stream.
Yeah, yes, that was one of my favorites.
That's maybe my favorite. I can't say it's my favorite guts because Kathleen was out of the country. But it's one of my favorite guts.
It was up there. But also like.
Thank you, Thrawn.
Yeah, I recently remade a rum ham just because Cassidy really wanted a rum ham.
Rum ham, baby.
So
there was not enough. That's the problem with rum ham. There's never enough rum ham because eating it makes you hungry for more rum ham.
Yeah. And so, but yeah, I've done I did a duck prosciutto once that worked out okay, but I still want to get more into those like cured meats that you just like hang up somewhere for months and let them get all awesome.
Fuck yeah. Wasteland Thylacine asked this in chat. What is your favorite Thai dish?
Ooh, Thai dish. There's so many good ones. My go-to is probably it's got to be lapbet.
Yeah.
Duck larb, if you want to go that way.
Duck larb, I do.
Yeah, duck larb. It's delicious. It's just got such a nice taste to it. So good to eat. When I was in Thailand, we lived our apartment toward the end of pretty close to the main road when we were walking. One of the closest restaurants to us ended up being a place that specialized in duck lab. And we probably had it 2 or so times a week, just as the easy option. And it's just so darn good. So that's anytime if I can make myself something that makes me very happy, it's probably that.
Oh, hell yeah.
Pad see ew is a good hangover dish.
Oh, I do love a super spicy pad see ew.
See, I usually go bland for that just to get the hangover out of the way. But yeah, there's so many good but weird dishes that I love. But yeah, if I had to choose one, it's probably duck lap.
That's a good pick.
Mm-hmm.
And chat approved of that. Chat loves that. And rum ham. Mod Carey, I know it's 9. I don't want to keep Kurt in his office too long, but how many questions do you think we got room for?
we did a whole bunch of them. We got
Of
the
these
best
like
food.
last
of the ones
3.
remaining.
Yeah. I at least got to do. I at least got to do
Yeah,
the beginning of this.
I'm here for however long you want me.
Okay,
so.
then let me tell you a joke, Kurt.
Okay.
A man walks into a folklore and ethnomusicology department, and he says, "Doctor, I guess to Dave McDonald." He goes, "Doctor, I'm depressed. I can't play music anymore. Nothing gives me meaning." And the doctor says, "Well, I've got the perfect remedy for that. A great band is in town. They're called Pagliacci and Other Clowns." And the man says, "But doctor, don't you understand? I am Pagliacci and Other Clowns." So what's the story behind the band from the IU Soundlore podcast?
Pagliacci and Some Other Clowns is it's a band. It's essentially a band that never happened, except it kind of did. It's the weirdest thing, and I love it. Essentially, yeah, it's me, Hunter Dukes, Suyash Nupan, and Ben Danner, and we all just started talking. We're like, "Hey, let's play music." We played music a few times together, and we wanted to like start gigging out or figure something out.
Yeah.
We started just like a group chat. That's actually still going to this day. We chat pretty much every day.
Aww.
We've got the Pagliacci group chat. So especially Suyash just ended up going back to Nepal to do some field work.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been posting food pictures left and right. And I've been salivating over food pictures. So yeah, we formed this group. We just started talking, and then every once in a while something would come up. So there was one, Suyash was working at the Archives of Traditional Music, and they were doing a Hoagie Carmichael concert. So he's like, "Let's play something for this." And so we got together under the pseudonym Kurt Sachs and the Hornbostels.
What a good name.
Right?
I'm
We
not.
thought-
Google it, chat. I cannot begin to explain the levels of wordplay. Kurt Sachs and the Hornbostels.
Yeah, and that was Kurt's like me apostrophe
Kurt's
S.
Sachs. Yeah.
Yeah. So like it's the most
more
in-joke
Saxy.
pun. And so we did that, and then the other thing we did was just during lockdown, Suyash had been, I think Suyash and Ben had been going through, it might have been Suyash initially, laying down some stuff just on his computer for fun, and shared it with us, and we he wanted to just do some more with it, so had me play on top of it, and then Ben did some stuff as well, and Ben like actually finished it all up.
Yeah, he's good at that.
Yeah, he's really good at the electronic music stuff, so we put that together, called it Corona Wave, and it was, yeah, and that was all Suyash.
Of course it was.
Yeah. He loves his vaporwave and pretty much anything 80s related.
That was his tier list, yeah.
But yeah, so we went through, made that song. At one point in time, the department was looking for theme music for their podcast, and we just kind of submitted it for shits and gigs, and it ended up being the department podcast, Soundlore podcast, their theme music.
Can I ask one more follow-up question?
Yeah, sure.
Are you pronouncing the GLIA in Pagliacci like that to spite me?
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm very proud of you. Hey, originally we were going to try to do this interview at your house so we could see a spud and a mango, but in lieu of seeing a spud and a mango, Can you tell us a story about how you adopted a cat in Thailand on your Fulbright?
Oh, Mango, he's yeah. So we got. I wish I could show him to you. We really tried, but we got our
DM the
little.
Folkwise Insta and we'll put him on the story.
All right, all right. Yeah, well, I'll send some sort of pic. Actually,
Just be you giving him
oh.
the finger.
Let's see if I can find one of the pics while I'm going through and doing thing. I'll send something soon. But yeah, we were actually. It was about halfway through the Fulbright. We came back to Bangkok to meet. My cousin had come in just to visit,
Hell yeah.
and so we came to. I think at that time she had been there. We were going to drop her off. So dropped her off or picked her up or something like that. We did something with my cousin, and ended up going to Wat Po, which is one of the big temples in Bangkok. Actually, probably it's one of my favorites in Bangkok. It's got the a really famous reclining Buddha statue that's just massive, and the temple grounds are beautiful.
Okay. I'm sorry if the answer is no, but is that Sagat stage?
I'd have to look.
No, I'll look. You keep talking.
Um, yes and no.
Okay.
I think Sagat stage is a different. Yeah, it's a different one. That's yeah, I forget which Buddha that is.
I'll look it up if you keep talking.
Yeah, but yeah. So we went there. We were hanging around, just kind of walking around stuff. I think Cassidy, my wife, went to the bathroom, and I was just walking around, and this tiny little kitten came up and started following me. And so I started petting it, and he looked absolutely terrible. He was one-eyed and wheezing and just not in good shape, but he was really cute and kept following us. So Cassidy came, we pet him for a while, and that was that. And then we just went back to the hotel and kept thinking about him. And we're like, you know what, we should get him. So we did a little bit of research into what you have to do to get a cat from a monastery, because a lot of them are just feral cats.
Yeah.
But we ended up just going that night after everything had closed. They always have a side door that's open that you can walk through. And finding one of the caretakers and talk to her for a little bit about the cat. She's like, well, one of the monks has been taking care of this cat, so you'd have to talk to him. We went and got him, and we're like, hey, we know this cat needs help. He doesn't look good, so we'd like to take him with us. And so the monk said, oh yeah, that's cool. We got him. Yeah, we took him off. Like, we took him from the monk and we brought him back to Mahasarakam with us, and took him. It took quite a few he was probably a week or two from dying. He was not in good shape. So after a lot of antibiotics and things like that, we got him stable, and he was doing good. And then he started getting big and fat and absolutely crazy. And so yeah, we ended up taking him. We took him back to visit the monastery and the monk that was taking care of him a couple times. And when we went back to the U.S., we brought him along with us. And Mango's been there for a while. And I will say with Mango, yeah, his name's Mamuang, which is the Thai word for mango. We did not name him. It was the monk. He's a black and white kitten, which is weird for a cat named Mango, but it was because he was found under a mango tree, and that was how the monk named a lot of the kittens.
He was one of the mangoes.
Yeah, it's where he found them.
Yeah.
And he does love eating mangoes also.
Oh,
So
mango.
yeah, he's pretty great.
Last question before your game. Is soprano sax the sexiest instrument?
Ooh, that's hard. I'm gonna say no.
Any opinion on what is the sexiest
Just
instrument?
great tenor sax.
Tenor.
Like it's got the like soprano sax I love, but like this, I mean, it's weird. I actually prefer soprano to tenor, but I think tenor's sexier. It's got a nice sound, whereas soprano, it's just like this weird duck stick. Like, you might as well be playing an oboe most of the time.
Well, we love a duck stick, people, don't we? So this is the point of the interview where I normally ask the eternal question. Kurt, have you ever made a tier list? I know for a fact you have made a tier list, and you probably don't need to have a tier list explained to you. If anyone in chat doesn't know, tier lists come from fighting games. They're a way to select rank choice in fighting games that are also on Twitch. They use them to create everyday life tier lists. But okay, beyond, I have a more important question I want to ask you. Are you ready?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'm gonna share screen on Discord.
All right.
Okay, and we're actually going to go to live reacts to the chat for this. Kurt, I have an even more essential question to ask you. Can you imagine owning all of the world's greatest love songs?
Ooh, owning all of the world's... I cannot.
Okay, Kurt, we have an idea for your tier list, but first we want to watch, jog everyone's memory in chat and with you with a little infomercial. Are you ready?
I'm here for it.
Imagine owning the world's greatest love songs by the greatest voices of our time.
You tried to get me to try it.
In a once-in-a-lifetime collection. Time Life Music presents the Ultimate Love Songs Collection. 36 beautiful songs by all our favorite artists.
Have I told you lately that I love you?
Rod Stewart,
Have I told
Celine Dion, Phil Collins, Gloria Estefan. Get the Ultimate Love Songs Collection on 2 CDs for just $26.99. But wait, use your credit card and we'll take $10 off. That's right. You get 2 CDs for just $16.99. Then review other romantic collections. Satisfaction guaranteed. Ultimate Love Songs is not sold in stores. So remember, use your credit card and get 2 beautiful CDs for just $16.99.
Call 1-800-818-6806 to order the Ultimate Love Songs Collection.
Someone call that number and see if it still works. All right, so chat is yelling at me for getting that infomercial and that sequence of songs stuck back in their heads after like 30 years. I guess, Kurt, if you're ready, we have we have a tier list for you. And we would like you to rank, I'll go to the activity screen. We would like you to rank the songs from the Ultimate Love Song commercial that played every 5 minutes when we were kids in the 90s. Is this a good use of you as a saxophone player? Who knows? And as someone whose brain is permanently TV poisoned. But So we have the songs from the Time Life Ultimate Love Songs collection commercial, and on a scale from S to D, we want to rank them. Are you ready?
Okay, I'll need those songs though.
Okay, I got you. I can do exactly like 5 seconds of every song. The first one is Celine Dion singing "'Cause I'm Your Lady."
Oh,
And you are my man.
Oh, Jaded, there's a playlist with all the songs.
There is a
sweet.
Oh, I've been listening to it.
Oh, nice. So yeah, do you want me to just go straight off of whatever Dom's singing? Is that the best way to do it?
I think that's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'd put particular Celine Dion song. I'd throw it in the B tier.
B tier. Okay. It's strong intro to a commercial, but we'll see how far it goes. Here's Michael Bolton listfully sitting on a chair singing Tell Me How Am I
Any Michael Bolton's automatically S tier.
Yeah. We love
Bolton's
this.
S tier.
Next up, chat popped off when they saw it, but this is the Linda Ronstadt and Joe Ingram cover of "Somewhere Out There" from Fievel.
Yeah, that was. I wanna like. I don't know. I want to put that in like. Let's put that in C tier for now, because like I feel like. That wasn't a love song, but also
it's weird. It's a weird addition. It's like
but also
parental
it's got
love.
Actually throw that in the D tier because I feel like it has absolutely nothing love song really except that it's kind of slow and sad and powerful, but also like it was super fucking hype and I love D tiers. Like as a D tier player.
Yeah, coming from anyone. A D tier out of Kurt Baer, Ganondorf and King K. Rool specialist. Who else?
And D tier for me is above S tier, but just for all the wrong reasons.
This is the low tier god, as Jaded said. This is the low tier god, and Linda Ronstadt, if you see that you're in D tier, it's the low tier god. He's got you.
Yeah, and that's it's absolutely stupid, but like in the best way possible because American Tail fucking slapped.
Oh, that's true. Next up is Luther singing "Here Right Now." How's it? I promise to love you.
Oh, you know what? Throw him in A tier, and also throw that Celine Dion in A tier for now too.
Top A, bottom A.
Let's go. Let's throw her in top A.
Hey, Celine. Celine
like,
Dion.
I only put her that low because like she's done better love songs. I think since
She has. But yeah, that's true. We had "No My Heart Will Go On" when this compilation was made.
Yeah. Oh.
Next up is Uncle Rod singing "Have I Told You Lately That I Love You."
Throw that in S right now.
Is that S behind Michael Bolton?
Yes.
Fill my heart with gladness, take away all my sadness. My troubles, that's what you do.
Throw that in C.
Wait, throw what in C?
Oh wait, no. Sorry.
The Gloria Estefan. Anything for you? That's in C?
Make it B. I don't have anything in B right now.
Okay. And next up is Chicago. You're the reason in my life. You're the inspiration.
That's a top B.
That's a top of B.
I love Chicago, but that's not my song.
Gotcha. Next up is These Dreams by Heart. Their most power ballady.
Oh, that can be C. And you know what? I'm looking at Jaded's stuff there.
Yeah.
I won't throw Rod in C tier, but I will throw him down to the bottom of A.
Bottom A. Bottom A. Okay.
I do agree. With Thrawn there, it's not one of his best.
You got a heavy hitter coming up next, and this is all for one. I swear.
Yeah, that's top S.
Now, here's the real question: do we have to Meta Knight this tier list? Is this the top of S, or does it get SS? Do we get an S plus?
Let's just give it an S.
Okay. And I swear, I just want you to know, Caitlin and I have been singing that song. Like when you like got off the call to like move the call to your office, Caitlin and I was saying that the entire time you were gone. And when you got back on, we had to stop. Like, don't spoil it. And then the second you got back off, we were like, by the moon and the stars in the sky. Yeah, Death Loris, we were jamming to that. It's so good. Next up, not sold in stores. It's Richard Marx, Right There Waiting.
Ooh, that's gonna go top A.
Wherever it takes. Above Celine?
Yeah, just the very top A. And that's just because like my dad was a huge Richard Marx fan.
Hell yeah.
Which means I've got way too much going in A, so starting with who do I have above Rod?
You got Luther.
Luther. Oh, Luther just deserves to be an A.
Rod, it sounds like Rod is going to keep falling.
Rod might keep falling. Throw him in B.
Over Chicago?
Yes.
You can still knock Queen Celine back down.
Oh, Celine was in B.
Oh yeah, Celine was down there.
You allowed her to ascend, and you can take her right back down.
I can. Okay, throw Celine above Rod in the B column.
Yeah.
And who's my final B?
Gloria Estefan. Anything for you? Knock her down top of C?
Yeah. Sorry, Jaded.
Daisy always tells people, like, feel free to move your selections after you place them somewhere. Kurt, you've done the most moving in the history of Folkwise Live.
I can never decide on what I want. Like, if you give me this in 10 minutes, it's going to be a completely different tier list.
That's how we know you're a real smasher. And, go for it.
I understand tier lists, but I don't actually understand tier lists. And as someone who has always done the opposite of what makes sense on a tier list,
the low tier god.
And my thing is, I fucking hate low tier god. But I'm not a big I get tier lists, but it's all contextual, man.
That is true.
I would like to point out at this point, the chat has decided that you are intentionally doing this to conduct ethnography on the chat.
Yeah, you're doing hot takes in order for them to talk.
Fine. Yes, I'm definitely doing you'll see my SEM presentation on Ultimate Love Songs commercial.
No, you can do it for Anguish in a cowboy hat.
Anguish in a cowboy hat.
If you do the Ultimate Love Songs commercial, Carrie might have to apply to SEM to do Pure Moods.
Oh
yes.
That was the one that I feel like Pure Moods over Ultimate Love Songs was just I was the one that was overplayed the most for me.
We almost did Pure Moods, but there's just less songs in the commercial.
Yeah.
It was hotly contested.
It was hotly contested. It was there's only 5 songs in that commercial, and it's mostly I think they use Audiamus twice, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, the last one, I don't want to skip Lionel Richie, but we got Stuck on You.
Oh. That's going.
People, I think chat. I know what chat wants.
What's
I don't
chat
know.
like for Lionel?
Chat? No, I think chat always wants a normal distribution when possible.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if you want to put Lionel in D.
I'm not sure I want to put Lionel in D. I'm with Jaded. Let's just throw this whole thing out.
Refresh. They don't. Total Eclipse of the Heart is on the album. They don't use it in the commercial.
Well, that's because it's like so many S's above S tier that you can't use it, or else everyone's like, "Oh wait, what are these other fucking love songs?"
If people ask me like what should I sing at karaoke, I always say Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Yeah, it's the best karaoke song.
Where are you putting Lionel?
You know what?
I'm so stuck on you.
I'm not gonna do completely. Throw him bottom of C for me, and just go ahead and throw Rod in the trash because people really want him to be in the trash. And
that was dramatic. The S to D fall of Rod Stewart.
I will take him from the top to the bottom. I don't even care. People think he's trash, so
it's what the people want, and the people hate Rod Stewart, except for So Bad It Hurts, who is sitting there crying because I think he loves that Rod Stewart song.
Oh, I'm sorry, man.
Kurt, you have eased my trouble, so that's what you do. All right, I'm gonna try to sum it up. I'm gonna try to sum it up on a scale from I Swear to Have I Told You Lately That I Love You.
Hey Maggie May is a great song.
I love Young Turks.
Yeah.
How do we even sum this up? Doesn't matter. Kurt is the god of D tier, and so Linda Ronstadt and Rod Stewart. Rod Stewart's fall is really a rise for Kurt. That means Kurt is now a Rod Stewart main.
He started an S tier and he got to Kurt S tier because everyone hated him and I liked him. So like that's a me thing, and I found out with everything that like my opinions are D tier opinions, and that's okay.
Lean into it. Lean into your D tier. Have I told you lately that I love you opinions?
No, and it's one of those I absolutely love that song. It's good, but it sounds like I like it for the same reasons that I like the American Tail song on it. And that's because it's hot trash, but it's hype. Like I don't know. I find the same thing with Cocktails too. Like all the stuff I love is stuff that other people hate. If you want to talk about Malort a little bit.
Oh, Malort, the Rod Stewart of booze.
Yeah, exactly. He's like Fournette or Rod Stewart or
Linda Ronstadt's Fournette. Rod Stewart is Malort.
Ganondorf. It's all it's all the same. So, I think it's right that he ends up there because it's like that's like those might be my two favorite songs on the thing. Minus the S tier that's so far above S tier.
Can I come to the SEM cocktail?
Can you what? You cut out.
You make the Rod Stewart Malort drink.
Oh, Kurt, right now, pitch us a cocktail about Rod Stewart featuring Malort.
I need a Malort cocktail.
There's only one way I figured out how to do a Malort cocktail, so it doesn't matter what that cocktail, like what it's about, what it is. It's always the same one that I did for Kathleen for Guts, which is the Malort 75.
Yeah.
Like little bit of Malort, quite a bit of sugar to mask the fact that it's Malort a little bit, and then grapefruit juice.
All right.
And then some champagne.
Did I ever tell you about the tall Anna?
No.
We invented this at Ice and FireCon for our friend Anna, who's 6'3", and it is like a Stiegel Radler with a Malort float over the back of a flat spoon on top.
Ooh, I can see that.
Yeah, and she chugged it and said, "That was interesting. Can I have another?"
That actually, I feel like if you play that grapefruit note up, it works really well.
I loved it. I had one this year. It's great. And shouts out to Anna crying in a pink dress right now.
There's a bar in DC that does for St. Patrick's Day the Chicago River, and it's just a shot of Malort dropped into old fashioned beer.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. The Chicago handshake as a bomb, essentially. I love it.
Yeah, I'm
And-
dragging Dom there next time he's up in the area.
That'll be great. I'm excited. Kurt, chat wants us to do one more thing while I still have you on the show, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You want to watch one of these baby sensory videos?
Yes, I love baby senses, I guess.
We're not watching the full 40 minutes.
Aw.
This is apparently what Wander Song is. Okay, I see it.
Yeah, this is. I thought you started streaming.
Yep, it's Wander Song. You've ruined the game. Let's see if it picks up.
Wait, is it just 40 minutes of cloud?
40 minutes.
40 minutes of
clouds?
fucking cloud.
Oh, there's right.
Oh, is that a berry?
Oh no, that's a bass.
That's a bass sax?
I think so.
The secret fifth saxophone unlocked. I don't know if I can do this any longer.
Spider at the Ren Fest.
Chat, because I know a couple of you got subs. No excuse now. Give it up for our ethnomusicologist, part-time folklorist, low-tier god, Rod Stewart hater and enthusiast, Cicerone, Kurt Baer. Dropped some ladders for this man, one of the finest people I know, and gave a wonderful interview. So
thank you.
everyone, drop some ladders in the chat for my man Kurt. Kurt, thank you so much for coming on the show. Thank you for improvising a little bit. And oh, look at these ladders coming in for you.
Hey, ladders.
We love to see it. Kurt, do you have anything you want to plug before we let you go?
I don't think so. We already kind of plugged my band.
Post the band again.
Magic Sando, magicsando.org. It's .com. And yeah, it's
I've been
super
debated.
fun. We're on all the streaming things. And yeah, check it out.
When do you play on Thursday? Bloomington people in chat want to know.
Gosh, I have a calendar for that. Let's find out. Looks like 3:30, somewhere around there.
In People's Park in Bloomington, 3:30.
People's Park is a City of Bloomington event, so it'll probably have something. They'll probably have something on one of their pages for that.
Yeah, so bad it hurts. You can eat your fucking pizza breadsticks across the street and then go see Kurt.
Yeah, perfect.
What are those called at $2 Tuesdays at Kilroy's over the summer?
Yeah, I forget.
Pizza sticks, they're good as shit.
Yeah, they're good.
Love Kilroy's when the frat boys are gone.
Yeah, when the people are gone, the townies can come out.
Hell yeah.